Hello everyone! Welcome to a new virtual class. My name is Svetlana Lungu and today we'll continue our imaginary trip to the UK. So let's start. It is said that a new language is a gate to a new life, a new style, a new rhythm, a new feeling, and a new spirit. How is it possible to speak about a country if you don't know its language? For this reason, today we will talk about the English language, which is also called the language of Shakespeare. Let's start. Today at the lesson we are going to learn and practice the new vocabulary related to the topic, identify the benefits of learning a new language, learn about the English language across the world, and read the text and answer some questions based on it. Look at the word cloud and make up a question. Are you ready? Let's check. Why do we learn a new language? To communicate, to watch movies, to read, to travel, to study abroad, to get a better job, and of course to understand other people's culture. Great! Let's continue and see how much you know about the English language. Look at this picture, please. This is the Indo-European language family tree. Analyze it attentively and answer these questions. Question number 1. What group of languages does the English language belong to? Correct, Germanic. What other languages influence English? The answer is French. Great! Now let's continue. Probably since you have started learning English, you have asked yourselves this question. Try to make it up. Okay, what is the best way to learn English? Are you ready to answer? Read English books, newspapers, and magazines. Another way is to attend English classes or English clubs. Watch movies and TV shows. Listen to songs. Travel. Talk to native speakers. Learn new words every day. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And of course, you need to stay motivated, because if you are motivated, you will succeed every time. Did you know that English is an official language in 83 countries and is widely spoken in 55 other countries? If not, you will find it out today. Look at the infographic, please. Do you know what an infographic is? Have you ever analyzed one? If not, let's do it together. English today is claimed to be the third largest language by number of native speakers, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. Combining native and non-native speakers, it is considered to be the most commonly spoken language in the world. If you look at this world map, you will see two colors, orange and blue. The countries that have a blue color, they are those countries where English is the official language. The blue countries, the countries in blue color, are those countries where English is spoken as a first language. Let's go on. Look attentively here. Approximately more than 1 billion people in the world speak English as a second language, and 375 million speak English as native language. 1 out of every 6 people can speak English. So now you can imagine how important and how spread is English around the world. English is the official language for aeronautical and maritime communications. 80% of the information stored in the world's computers is in English as well. More than half of the world's technical and scientific periodicals are in English. English is used as the primary medium of instruction in education, in particular where international students study. Look attentively at this world map. These are the countries where English is an official language. Try to match the countries with the numbers on the map. Let's see how well you know the countries. Number 1, Canada. Number 2, the USA. Number 3, Jamaica. Number 4, the UK. Number 5, Ireland. Number 6, Kenya. Number 7, India. And number 8, Australia. Great! As I told you at the beginning of the lesson, we will read the text today. But before reading, we need to learn some new words and practice the pronunciation. Are you ready? Let's begin. Here you have some proper nouns taken from the text. Let's pronounce them together. Italic, Latin, Germanic, Celtic or Celtic, Angles, Saxon, Jutes, Dutch, Scandinavian, Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, Norman. Let's learn the new words together. Split, to separate or divide into 2 or more. Spread, to become or make something widely or more widely felt, known, available or used. Evolve, to develop naturally and usually gradually. Scholar, a person who has a deep knowledge of an academic subject. Conquest, the action or an instance of conquering somebody, something. Defeat. Impose, to make somebody endure something that is not welcomed or wanted. And now let's read the text about the English language. Please be very attentive because you'll have some questions to answer after it. The language of Shakespeare. The English language belongs to Indo-European family and it is very old. It has changed very much throughout the centuries. If you had an opportunity to read Shakespeare, you could obviously notice the difference between the English language spoken today and the one of his epoch. Throughout history, other languages have influenced English. Though initially of Germanic origin, it has been in fact replaced around 500 BC by the Celtic language. Celts moved to Britain from the Central and Western Europe. The Celtic language evolved into the Irish and Welsh languages that are spoken today in some parts of the United Kingdom. During the Roman period, AD 43–400, Latin influenced the Celtic language, and some Latin words entered the Celtic language. in 449, the Germanic tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes invaded Britain. All spoke dialects of a language that scholars call West Germanic. Other current West Germanic languages, along with English, are Dutch and German. West Germanic was closely related to North Germanic, which survived today in the Scandinavian languages such as Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish. Originally, both West Germanic and North Germanic were the same language, called Germanic. They all spoke Old English, which replaced Celtic. Old English was spoken until the year 1000. The name term English goes back to the name of one of the Germanic tribes, the Angles. During the Norman conquest of 1066, William the Conqueror imposed a new government and tried to impose on Britain the conqueror's French. From then until about 1475, the language is called Middle English. During that time, English was very much under the influence of French, and thousands of French words entered the language. Around 1475, the English language began to change. A lot of sounds changed their pronunciation, and spelling changed as well. Thus, the modern English appeared. It suffered many changes since 1500, and it continues to develop. Development of science, technology, and society in general brings new valuable additions to the language nowadays. If you were attentive, now let's continue working on the text. Answer the following questions, please. What are the periods of evolution of the English language called? Are you ready to answer? The Celts period, Roman period, Germanic tribes invasion, and the Norman conquest. The second question. What languages influenced English during each of the periods? Think a little. Let's check. The Celtic language, Latin language, Germanic language, and French. Question number 3. Why is English called the language of Shakespeare? His works contributed to standardize English language rules and grammar in the 17th and 18th centuries. The introduction of new words as well as phrases had greatly enriched the English language, which made it more expressive and colorful. Why are languages in continuous change? The text tells us that the development of science, technology, and society brings new valuable additions to the language nowadays. Let's see what other factors influence the English language. Economic development, technological innovations, demographic changes, socio-geographical mobility, and, of course, the Internet. Have you asked yourself, what future does the English language have? Is the future of English at risk? If you want to find out more about this, you may read the text on page 137 in your textbooks, which is called Does English Have a Future? And you will find out the answer. Don't forget, learning is not a spectator sport. If you want to master English, get involved and practice it as much as possible. Thank you. See you next time.